This is Kerrigan & Company. My friends at Sienna Aesthetic Spa in Beverly have some really big news. Just in time for swimsuit season, they now have 2 experts certified to use their awesome Clarity 2 laser for hair removal, spider vein removal, and photofacials, which will remove those sun and age spots. And now, for a limited time, book an appointment with one of their estheticians and receive an additional 10% off on their already low packages. And then you add a facial, and you still get 10% off. This happens through the end of June. Call the spa at 978-993-8300 or go to siennaaesthetics.com. Hi, everybody. This is Kim, a special psychic reading in this edition of Kerrigan & Company.
Kerrigan & Company is here for you. Yes, Kerrigan & Company is here for you.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Kerrigan & Company. I'm so glad that you can be with us. This is a really special edition for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the person who's keeping me company. Renowned psychic medium Candace Dalton is with me. And Candace, it's great to have you. You have been here before as a guest.
Yes, and I'm excited to co-host with you today.
I was so excited to have you come back and to be a part of it. And what's really cool and fun is that you were willing to open up a contest for one of our lucky listeners, watchers, to come in for a reading during this podcast. So we have a winner, and we're not going to share the name right now, but we have a winner. Woo-hoo. And she's going to be here a little bit later, and you're going to read her here.
I'm so excited because it's always so fun to see who comes in, and I bet you she'll be saying, I'm really nervous right now, and we'll see what happens. So.
Well, I'm excited for her because I think it's just it's just such a cool thing, and I know how great you are at what you do. I've seen it firsthand. And, you know, I follow you on social media, and if you don't follow her, by the way, you should. I get more inspiration from you some days, you know, just saying, hey, the world is okay, you're okay. Thanks. And I appreciate that more than you can even imagine.
Thank you.
Really, really do.
Yeah.
You were here before, though, and Sherry Spears was here, and Sherry had never met a psychic medium before, and you blew her away with some of the things that you said about her grandmother.
Yes, and her grandmother was coming through really strong, and it was funny watching her face because her eyes just kept getting bigger, and I think she was backing away from the microphone too, and just seeing her reaction was really priceless.
Yeah, it really was, so it was terrific, and we would invite anybody to go back. That's episode 50 if you'd like to see it. It was really terrific. Let's talk about what is a psychic medium, because you know, I don't think I even realized this, Candace, until you started to talk about it. You don't necessarily see what's going to happen to me next year, but you can talk to my dear friends and relatives who have passed on.
Yes. So as a medium, I'm able to connect to the other side, bring through messages, validations, bring through your loved ones. I ask them so many different things, like bring through your name, your personality. I want it to shine through me so your loved ones can actually feel you and give me things that only you and your loved ones really know, and also give them the messages that they really need to hear. And so with the psychic side, yes, that does come part of it, where I can just look at somebody and be like, oh, you're pregnant. They're like, no, I'm not. And I get an email, like a week later. They're like, oh my God, I'm 6 weeks pregnant. So those things will come in for sure. I've definitely had many different psychic visions before, but it's more so that I connect in with spirit.
Sure.
And that
absolutely.
would be my forte.
So let's talk about it. When did it start and how did it start? It had to have been a little frightening.
It was scary. So when I was little, I always knew things before they happened, but I didn't know that I was a medium. I just thought I was a really good guesser. And so when I was 7 years old, my Auntie Pam passed away, which is my mom's sister. And when she got to the other side, I was hearing things, information that a 7-year-old really shouldn't know. My aunt's passing was unexpected, so we weren't sure what happened. And I would get this information, tell my mom, and she'd be like, how do you know this? Are you listening to my phone calls? So I just kind of kept it under wraps. I had so much anxiety and panic attacks about death and dying. So if I thought about it, it would send me into a total tailspin. So it was very scary as a kid. And then I kind of shoved it away for the next couple years. And then when I was 9 years old, I found out that it runs through my family. My Aunt Maureen has it, Maureen Hancock. A lot of people know her, a.k.a. aka Auntie Bev, if you've seen her videos. We'll talk about that later. And so, yeah, it's, and then it really started to come in full force after my cousin Sean died when I was 14. So, it's been one step after the next with this, but that was definitely the time that I first felt it was around 7 years old.
You know, I've had experiences with mediums in the past by virtue of what I did for a living for a long time. So I would interview them for Fox 25 a lot. I interviewed them for different television shows that I was involved in. Some of them would say, no reading when I'm with you because I shut that off unless I want to open it up. Because if I don't, I can't live my life. Do you have that same experience? Can you put yourself in a box and shut it off?
Totally. I have to shut down or else I will experience the panic attacks and the anxiety attacks because there's so much energy flowing through me. So, but I mean, a good edible at night always helps too. So
I'm sure that's probably true.
You got to do what you got to do when you talk to the dead, you know? So that's how I shut
I would
off.
invite you to do whatever you need to do.
That definitely helps, but I have days that I'm on, days that I'm off.
Yeah.
And I make sure to have some days in between readings so that I can decompress the next day, gear up for the next time, and have the best energy.
Candace, do you see dead people? I mean, can you look out here and do you see dead people?
What's the guy's name of the hockey that died? No. I don't see them just walking around. I would lose my mind. But I can see quick visions out of my peripherals where I think someone's right there.
Yes.
Again, people think they're crazy. They're like, did I just see that out of the corner of my eye? But for me, it's when I'm actually connecting in, I'm seeing visions and impressions in my mind from them. So it's almost like you're on a phone call and someone's telling you directions. You're already kind of mapping it out in your head. And so that's what they're doing with me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have talked to other mediums who have said that really everyone has this ability. It's just that some, like yourself, can tap into it more readily. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. We're all energy beings. Every single one of us, we hone into energy. We're born with intuition. But I do think that some are just more heightened than others. Some people here you meet and you're like, okay, you're an old soul. Like you're beyond your years. Then there's others who are like, oh gosh, hellion.
Right.
So
first time around.
Yeah. I always say it's kind of like Tom Brady. Tom Brady and I can both throw a football, but he's way better because he's put time and energy and effort and has been consistent with it. So I think anybody who taps into it has to be open. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe on the other side with the other side. And then you have to continually practice to kind of gain that energy.
Are you scared sometimes?
When I was little, yes. My fiance, Londo's scared. So I'll tell him the next day, like, I woke up and I saw this person standing over me. So these are the times that I'll see figures.
Yes.
And I said, and I just like got up and went to the bathroom. And he's like, and you left me there in the bed. So he's very open to it, loves it. But yeah, I don't get scared because I just know that I'm protected and I have, good intentions.
Do you know bad things?
I have felt bad things before, yes. Premonitions. The year before the Boston Marathon bombings, I was at a Red Sox game. And I was totally fine. Everything was going well. And then all of a sudden, I got just this awful, overwhelming feeling that I felt like something was going to explode. So then I go to revert back to my anxiety. Is this because of 9/11? Is this why I'm nervous? Because there's a huge crowd. And it's Marathon Monday. There's like 1 million people, in the city. So I left the Red Sox game in the middle of it. I had to leave. And I got into the green line, and I had a panic attack, and I projectile vomited. And I was like, I'm not drunk, I swear. If only they knew. And then a year later is when it happened.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've had those things. I've had moments where I remember getting Reiki done, and I had just this anxiety in my stomach. And all of a sudden, my dad popped in my head. I'm like, Candace, this is crazy. Nothing's wrong with Dad. He's fine.
Yeah.
Finished off the Reiki. And the minute I got done, I usually just chill. But I jumped up, grabbed my phone. I had a missed call from my mom. And I called her back. And I said, what's wrong with Dad? She goes, how do you know? Who told you? And I said, I just had this bad feeling. She said, we're at the hospital right now. He has abdominal pain. Ugh. And it ended up being a gallbladder that he needed out. But it was just instant. And I know a lot of people have experienced that too, where you just know.
Right. Well, I think maybe not as frequently as you do. I think it's probably different. When people present themselves to you from the other side, I think this is a question that a lot of people wonder. Are people on the other side as they were when they left us? Are they younger? What are they?
Such a good question. I will get a variety. So I will see, say, a baby. They would have been maybe 21 now, but they'll present themselves as a baby to me. Or I will see somebody who's 21. I keep seeing this, young female, and I'm like, do you understand of a young 21-year-old female? And they're like, no. And I'm like, has it been 21 years since they're passing? Yes.
Okay.
So they will show that. I will see also spirit in their best of times. So when they were like really good, and that's how I see them.
Right. Because if I would be fortunate enough to live to 100, I do not want to be on the other side looking 100.
Exactly. Totally. So they will come back to their younger years, and it's neat to see.
Has your ability to speak to those who have passed on settled you in the idea of death?
Yes. I had, like I said, panic attacks about death as a kid, where my throat would close up. We'd have to call 911 to get them to kind of like get me to chill out. And so I think when my cousin Sean died, I was okay, because I was like, if I die, he'll be there waiting for me.
Right.
And then I've lost so many people since, from every scenario possible. And just also the readings I've done over the years has been, it blows my mind that I'm like, there's just no... How do you not believe?
Yeah. So for you, and I don't want to put words in your mouth here, but for you, I think you envision life after death.
Yeah, totally.
It's just not here.
Yes.
It's somewhere else.
This is just the earth school. It's the earth journey. We evolve as spirits. I don't know why pain has to be involved, but I think that if this was a perfect world, we wouldn't learn and grow and learn to navigate together. And I think it's a physical experience while we're here. So it's definitely I'd say this world is not for everyone. It's hard. A lot of people have a really hard time here. And I understand, why people, go to the extremes of leaving this earth. So it's, I don't fear death. I mean, I don't want to die right now, but I always say if I were to die, I'd rather die saving somebody.
Yeah. So tell me about one of the craziest readings that you can think of.
One of the craziest.
I would imagine there's a lot of them, right?
I know. There's so many different ones. This one always pops in my mind. When I was just starting off doing readings, private readings, wasn't even doing groups yet, there was a man and a woman there, and their son passed away. And the son was so strong. He kept showing me, like, there was a shed out back, and his motorcycle was back there. I think it was the dad's motorcycle. I said, they stole it. He's showing me this. And it was so on point. And at the very end, he said, my dad, he has to get his heart checked out. And I was like, oh, God, like, that doesn't seem, I like to give light messages.
Right.
So I looked at them. I said, listen, don't panic. I said, your son keeps on showing me your heart. Just go get it checked out. So I get an email a month later, and the wife said, Candace, I just want to let you know I dragged my husband to the hospital like 2 days later because I just couldn't sleep on it.
Right.
And brought him in, and they brought him immediately into surgery for a quadruple bypass. And they said that if he was not in here within 30 days, he would have died.
Yeah.
So that's always stands out to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, if it can be things that I can help, fix, cool, but don't tell me if I can't fix it.
Right.
Kind of like the Boston Marathon bombings.
Right.
That scared me.
Right. Did not stop that.
Yeah. But yeah, so many different readings I've had from, celebrities have come forward to, just the everyday person. I've had people from 9/11 come forward. I know just really cool readings. There was also a dad that recently came through for a mother and daughter. And I looked at the daughter and I just said, you're pregnant. She goes, no, I'm trying though. And she got really upset, really so sad. And I said, don't stress. Like, I think you need to go pee on a stick right after this. And the next day she sent me an email with 4 positive pregnancy tests. She had been trying for so long. And I said, he's sending you a boy.
Yeah.
And she sent me a picture of him a year later and said, it'll always be part of their story.
Oh, that's so great. That's
cool.
So great. Well, I'm excited that you're going to read someone here.
I know.
Which is really great. Is there anyone here right now? How are we doing?
I know. I was driving. I've learned that trying to connect with spirit while you're driving through Boston traffic is like really kind of
Not
hard.
smart.
Yeah. So, no, I was just trying to call in all the energies. When there's so much energy and we're at TD Garden,
Right.
it's like I try to really limit it.
Right.
You know, I feel like I'm trying to be in an elevator with nobody on it right now.
Absolutely.
So we'll see who comes in.
Okay, terrific. Well, we're excited about it. Thank you again for doing this.
Yeah.
We're so glad that you did. I just am so fascinated by what it is you do. I believe wholeheartedly. I know there are people who do not.
True.
And I think that's their loss, quite frankly.
I
really
like that.
do. Yeah, I really do, because I think you've really missed something in the world. I really do.
Thank you.
So, and I think you're really good at it. So I'm very excited. So our contest winner will be here in a while, so we'll chat with her. But in the meantime, we're going to dish a little gossip.
I love a little gossip.
Yeah, a little Hollywood gossip.
Tell me
I don't
about
know how you feel about it, but
I love Hollywood gossip.
And who knows? Maybe a celebrity will come through for us right in the middle
You
of all
never
of
know.
that.
Give us the tea.
Candace Dalton is here with me, and when we come back again, we're going to dish a little tea. Yeah, we'll be serving the tea, baby. This is Kerrigan and Company.
Have you tried Rumson Rum yet? This smooth, sweet, memorable rum is distilled in the Caribbean, barreled aged, and then blended, finished, and bottled in Salem, Massachusetts. Rumson's offers 4 unique blends: Gold, Spice, Grand Reserved, and Coffee. Before you start to sip or mix your next cocktail, ask yourself, do I want to enjoy New England's most awarded rum brand? If the answer is yes, the answer is Rumson's. Get Rumson's rum at liquor stores or ask for it by name at your favorite restaurant. Rumson's. Life lived, life enjoyed.
Don't miss Waitress. With new music by Sarah Bareilles, this musical celebration is the perfect recipe for love and laughter. On stage at Bill Haney's North Shore Music Theater from June 3rd through June 15th. Order up your tickets at nsmt.org.
This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Lucia Lighting and Design, where people in the know go for the best possible lighting and design experience. Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan and Company. We're so glad that you could be with us for this episode, which is a special episode. As I mentioned, keeping me company today, of course, is psychic medium Candace Dalton. And in just a little while, a winner of our contest. We had a contest to see who would come in and get a free reading from her here in the studio, on the air. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a ton of fun, so we're really looking forward to that.
Can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
I'm looking forward to our next guest because I think we can get a whole bunch of gossip from this nice lady. She's actually originally from our area. Now lives down in the D.C. area. She is the co-host of one of the most popular podcasts in this country, Beyond the Blinds. We are so happy that Kelli Williams is with us today, and it's great to see you.
Thank you for having me. I was saying it's such a huge deal just to do a show near the garden and all that. I told my dad, he was like, "You're going to go to the Bobby Orr
statue?"
Yeah. I'm like, I can't think of the name of the word, but yeah, the statue. I'm like, of course.
Right. A moment by the statue, and it doesn't matter the rest of it, right? Dad just wants to see you by the statue.
Exactly.
I know.
Just see Bobby Orr. I'm like,
Right.
I'll do it. Okay.
Tell him I said hi.
Exactly.
Well, you're in town because you and your co-host, you guys do a traveling show.
We do.
Which is tons of fun. You're going to be at City Winery, so congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
Which is great. And how long are you going to be out on the road? You guys are going to a lot of cities.
Yeah, we are going to be doing live shows till the end of November.
Wow.
We
My
do a break
gosh.
for July, August, September, and then we're right back out there. It's really fun. It's really great. And I get to travel to places I'd probably never go otherwise. So it's really fun.
Right.
Absolutely. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Thank
Beyond
you.
the Blinds, let's explain to everybody what
Okay.
that means, the name of the podcast.
Yeah, so originally we started it in 2021, and I called my now co-host with this idea of talking about blind items, because I noticed they started to become more mainstream, but they hadn't really hit podcasts just yet. It was like Dumois and then Crazy Days and Nights. And I'm like, let's make this into a podcast. But we wanted to do more than just reading blind items, so we try and do deeper dives into, what was going on in this celebrity's life at that time, and more than just reciting these blinds back. We wanted to add more personality to them, give more context,
Sure.
things like that.
Sure. And it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
Absolutely.
You and your co-hosts are really good too. I've
Thank
listened to a
you.
few episodes, and you guys crack me up. And you guys have really just a great way of diving deep, but also putting some humor into it.
Yeah, a lot of it's dark Hollywood stuff, but we try and make as much light of it as we can because, and at live shows, we do not talk dark Hollywood because we want people to have fun.
Sure, absolutely. Now, let me ask you, this is my only serious question
Okay,
I'm going to ask you. But do you ever worry that maybe these things are not true and you're repeating them?
Yeah, that's something that we've definitely struggled with.
Yeah.
But we try and say at the top of the show, we don't know what's true, we don't know what's false, like, take what you will. But there are those moments where I'm like, ugh, like, do I want to put that out there? But then I always try and be like, but I don't think that one was true. You know, after a blind item, I'll be like, that one wasn't real.
Allegedly.
I'm like, that one feels like fanfic. I don't know.
I love it. It's great. Well, we were talking amongst ourselves about, I know when you come to a city, you like to sort of talk about the local celebrities. So one jumped out at me immediately, and I'm wondering if you guys are going to talk about this,
Okay.
because I can't imagine that you're not. And that would be Bill Belichick
Listen.
and that girlfriend of his, Jordan Hudson.
So at the end of our live shows, we always get we do a Q&A. And we've done 3 live shows. Every single one has asked me, and I'm like, thank God I can talk about the Patriots, because like that's kind of my Boston team that I follow. I don't know if I'm kind of obsessed with it, and I don't know if it's a good or bad one.
Right.
Yeah.
But the other day she posted on her Instagram story, she was eating Old Bay with crabs, and she's like, Old Bay with my Old Bay, and I'm like, they're gonna get a reality show. Like, in my heart, I feel like they're going to end up on television, and I will watch every episode.
Well, I think everybody will. I couldn't agree with you more.
I would
Wouldn't that
love to
be-
know how they met.
I just want to hear
They
a
met on
conversation.
an airplane.
What?
Allegedly.
Yeah, they allegedly, right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they met on an airplane. She was sitting next to him.
Yeah. I just need to hear a conversation with them.
I know.
Right. I want to know what they talk about. Do they talk about the same things? Do they have the same interest?
Just anything. Even
No, they don't. Let me take a deep dive for you guys.
She's like, let me tell you.
I have a 24-year-old. She would have no more interest in what Bill Belichick has to say. Now, she might be interested in his money and the parties they go
Right,
to
right.
and the outfits she can buy,
Right.
but she would have no interest in what he has to say.
I know. It's brutal.
It's
but like,
brutal.
Do you really enjoy it, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm
I
like,
don't know. I think it's more about the shoes. That's all I can see.
and he doesn't seem like he's a big talker to begin with.
Right,
You know, he's
right.
always been kind of like the quiet, grump, curmudgeon coach.
Right.
And
yes.
even in was it CBS Sunday Morning when she's like interjecting, being like, we're not going to answer that. I'm like, you've already told us 100 times how you met.
I mean, and you know the slogan, "In Bill We Trust."
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
We're not sure. I don't know. It just is a weird concept.
It's a very unusual pairing. I think if
Yeah.
there was anybody that would have told me 10 years ago that Bill Belichick would be dating a girl who could be his granddaughter, I would have said that's insanity.
I always think about Linda
So-
Holiday too.
Yeah.
What does she think?
I love
Right,
Linda.
right.
She's
Holiday.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yep.
We were my producer and I were just at a function and she was there. And she's
okay.
making it very clear that she's single. Love Hotel. So on
Love
Bravo,
Hotel.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so last week, Jay Bramble, who is from here, and I used to work with at Fox 25 here. I worked for Fox with him. Jay was here.
I saw the clips. He seems so nice.
I know, and I wanted to ask you about this because this week, so Jay was here last Tuesday, and now on the 5th or the 6th episode of 8, this last weekend, Jay bowed out.
Yeah, I don't know. Watching the show, I'm into it, but I'm also like, what's going on? You know, it's really interesting watching like Ashley Darby trying to figure out who she wants to date. Luann to me is just such a star.
Yes.
I'll watch her do pretty much anything. But Jay seemed like too normal for the show.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the vibe I got from him.
You know, he sort of came off when he bowed out like a hero. And so I'm wondering, do you think we'll see Jay on another reality show?
I don't know. Do you think?
I do.
Yeah. I think he'd be great.
I think he could be like I know Jay beyond what I saw on TV. And Jay is a super nice guy. And wouldn't it be great if they did like a reality show about a really nice guy and what happens to him along
Yeah,
the
that
way?
would be really nice.
I don't know if Bravo would like buy that, but maybe another network would.
Well, I was saying maybe he'll be on The Bachelorette. Who knows?
Ooh,
Right?
the Golden Bachelorette or something?
I think he
That'd
could.
be nice.
He's in his 50s.
Okay.
He could be in the medium Bachelor.
Not this medium bachelor.
No, not that medium Bachelor. But by the way, is anything coming through?
Well, when we were starting and everything, it was a grandmother, your dad's mom, that's passed. That she's quiet. She hangs back. But
Well, what's funny is she's the reason I got into pop culture.
that's amazing.
So-
it was when I hugged you. It was like the energy right behind you was incredible.
I always give her, I got chills when you said that because I always give her credit for getting me into pop culture.
She's a hot shit. She's totally here with you.
Yeah.
Okay, she's going on this journey. She gets free tickets, plane rides, you name it. So she's very proud of you.
Yeah.
She's smoking a cig and she's
Yeah.
like,
Okay. Sounds right.
she knows that you hit other things, but we won't tell anybody. So she's
Cleveland, Massachusetts.
Could you just check? Does she agree that Bill Belichick, this whole thing, is she with me
She's
on
wondering
this?
why she wasn't
Grandma,
discovered,
are
you know? I feel like she's like, screw men, you know? She doesn't care for men.
All right, so Kelli Williams is with us here, by the way. And she's the co-host of Beyond the Blinds. Great podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcast. Be sure you check it out. Okay, so what's one of your favorite, your favorite gossip stories that you guys have talked about or your deep dive stories that you could share with us?
There have honestly been so many. Like our podcast this week dives into Jared Leto and his alleged cult that he has put together. Alleged heavily, he's never been convicted of anything. But we talk a lot about him. We've talked, like I'd say with Troy and I, one of our biggest common denominators is like boy bands and like 90s pop. So we've talked a lot about Lou Pearlman, who created Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, LFO, who's from Massachusetts,
I brought through Rich Cronin before from
my
LFO.
God.
I love
I'm like,
that.
is he here? I would love Rich Cronin.
He can go with me anywhere.
Exactly. I will sing Summer Girls all day with him.
Same. We'll do it together.
But I would say like Lou Pearlman is kind of someone who like always is popping up for us.
Well,
he's
for
such,
good
like,
reason, too, because he's
Right.
really, he's turned out to be not a good guy.
Exactly.
You know.
And he's kind of the blueprint of what we see with like, Justin Bieber being performing for so long, even when he didn't look healthy to perform. That was like a Lou Pearlman thing,
Yeah, totally.
So
Absolutely. You guys did a show not too long ago about country singers.
Yes.
I'm a huge country fan.
Okay.
And I was talking to Candace about this before you came in, but Morgan Wallen, love his music, absolutely sometimes think I'd like to run him over with a car.
honestly, like
What is wrong with that guy?
I don't know, but nothing sticks to him.
I know. How
he
about
does,
be
like, all these
appreciative? Try
things.
this, right?
Yeah.
Everything rolls right off.
It's like he can't learn anything because no one holds him accountable.
Yes.
They took his music off air for what, like 2 months?
Yeah.
And that's about it.
and he's living
and
just
he came
fine.
back bigger than he was before.
Exactly.
It actually played in his favor,
Yeah.
And he is sort of one of those celebrities who, and there's a lot of them actually, but he's one of those celebrities who takes negative things and turns it into something positive for himself.
Yeah. Exactly. He doesn't learn from it. He just makes merch out of it.
Yeah,
or
I think that's so true.
whatever.
That is so true. Well, another one of those too is, of course, Britney Spears. She
Yes.
seems to, and I don't really even know what Britney Spears does anymore, except be gossiped about.
Yeah, I just like feel for Britney. I think when you're in something like the conservatorship she was in, and like she couldn't even drink caffeine on that conservatorship. So it's like,
What is that about?
Yeah,
Kelli?
I don't know. I just feel like it like stunted her. I think. I always say I think conservatorships are helpful if they're done correctly. If you go into it and actually do what you're supposed to do, instead of being like, you're not allowed to do all these things, but you're going to work and make money for us. And you're going to be put on lithium for 30 days when you're not supposed to be on lithium for that long. Right. And I just think there's been so much damage done. And it's like she's probably acting out because she finally can.
That's exactly what I think too. Is I see her on Instagram and I feel so bad because you can see her, she just spins, in circles and she's whipping her hair around and it's like, are you trying to be childlike because that was stripped from you, or is it just everything that you were put through that you were just have no care in the world, that you don't even know what you're doing?
Yeah, and then there's this theory that people who get like super famous like her, or like a Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, that kind of, they get stuck at the age they got famous at, which I think is really interesting.
And really kind of makes sense. Because, it's your best days.
Exactly.
At least that's what you think.
Yeah.
They're turned into workhorses.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, what do you do if you've always been a public figure, but you're no longer like good for public consumption? How do you switch that? And how do you turn that off and like be okay with that, I guess.
And I think we've all had high days where we're like, that was a great day, like work-wise, where you feel like you're on a high. And I call it the burn and crash, because then you're just like, now what?
Exactly.
Now what? You
Yeah,
know, they've had
absolutely.
it all. So
yeah,
now
they've
what?
had it all, and then you come crashing down. I think that's so true. Anything else? What are you guys going to talk about during the shows?
So we always try and pick a local celebrity. For
Yes.
Boston, we did have to expand to New England because we've covered a lot of Boston celebrities. But we're going to be doing John Mayer tonight from Connecticut, went to school in Boston. I was like, we can reach a little.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
I think
usually,
that's fine.
Yeah, usually we try and find a celebrity from the area
Yeah.
and cover them
Yeah.
to make it like more fun and more personalized to the city.
John Mayer, another guy who is incredibly talented and has done some really stupid things.
Revisit his Playboy interview from 2010 and you're like, what is going on there?
The gossip that's behind him
This
too.
is the guy
is
who
like,
sang Gravity, for goodness sakes. Come on, dude. What is wrong?
Exactly. I'm like, oh my God.
keep the songs golden. Don't
Yeah,
do
right.
anything else.
We always say sometimes you have to separate the art from the artist.
Yes.
Well,
You know,
that
you
is
got to
so
do
true.
that.
That's so true.
hard though.
Talk about the future for you. What's going to happen? Are there some big things coming?
I mean, we have our live shows. I am thinking I'm probably going to be bringing back a solo podcast so I can interview people again. I really miss that aspect of it. And just talk about life. You know, pop culture is fun and everything, but I also like to, share personal stories and
Sure.
things like that. So probably launching a solo podcast and then just traveling and doing the live shows with Troy. And we have a lot of fun doing that.
for
so
you.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
great. It's
Yeah.
terrific. Well, her name is Kelli Williams, and of course, the podcast is Beyond the Blinds. And again, you can get that wherever you get your podcasts. Kelly's going to be at City Winery. Unfortunately, this drops today, and she's going to be there tonight.
Well, that's
but
okay.
you can certainly go to the website and check it out because she's going to be in a lot of other cities.
Yeah.
And be sure to keep an eye out when they come back this direction.
We'll always be back in Boston.
Absolutely, I know you will, and we'll look forward to it. And when you come back, you got to come back again.
Yeah,
we'll,
thank you so much
We'll
for
dish a little
having me.
more, a little more dirt. Right?
Maybe more Bill and George. Maybe by that time there'll be a show.
Well, they claim they're getting married.
Oh,
I can't. Oh my God.
They, of course, I don't know who they are, but
It's like me just saying.
we'll see, right? Kelly, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you
for
so
having
much.
me.
Great
Thank
fun.
you.
All right, when we come back, we're going to have that special reading for that contest winner. This is Kerrigan and Company. Longer days and warmer weather mean more time to spend outside. Are you ready to extend those days even longer with effective and efficient landscape and outdoor lighting? If so, Lucia Lighting and Design in Lynn can stretch your summer days by helping to create beautifully well-lit outdoor living spaces. The lighting experts at Lucia will work with you to plan a space that's bright, comfortable, and secure. It'll be so great you might never be inside. Get started by going to lucialighting.com, then make an appointment to visit their beautiful showroom in Lynn, Massachusetts. That's lucialighting.com. This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Bill Haney's North Shore Music Theater. Get your tickets to see the hit Broadway musical Waitress, playing June 3rd through the 15th at nsmt.org. Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan and Company. Great to have you with us today. And this is the part of the show, not that the rest of the show hasn't been great, that's for sure, but Candace and I have been looking forward to this. Candace has been kind enough to agree to a free reading for one of our lucky listeners and watchers, and our winner is Allison Buckley. And this is Allison. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I want to ask you, have you ever been to a psychic medium?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Okay. And how did it go?
It went well. It was.
Super.
I'm a firm believer, but I'm also a skeptic. So
Okay.
I've always tried to debunk things before I can fully do it. And Candace, Maureen, everybody who has read it's very specific to the point that there's no way that it's
Anybody could know.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way. And for me, who is a skeptic, I was like, oh no, like that's okay. So no,
Great.
I'm excited.
Great, Allison. Well, we're glad you're here, and thank you very much for
Thank you for having me.
for participating. How are you? Are you ready, ma'am?
I know. Do my eyes look funky? Usually that's how it
Well,
goes.
actually, this is really strange. She turned to me, and now her eyes are dilated.
Everyone says they get huge.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I
all
can
right, I
see
guess
that.
I'm tuned in.
You
so,
do, yeah.
people are like, are you on drugs? I'm like, no, I'm not.
No,
So-
I know you're not.
tuned in, yet ready to go. So my mom was always saying, your eyes are looking funky, and that's how we know we're ready to rock and roll. So yeah, I'm ready.
Great.
Cool.
Terrific.
All right. So so glad you're here, and I'm glad you won. There's always obviously a reason, and when you were the winner, you know, I was like, it's obviously meant to be. So
Shocking, because I don't win anything, so that's why I didn't anticipate it.
Right. So I had 3 people that came in with you as we hugged. You know, that's when I started to kind of tap into the energy here. So if you get emotional, please do. There's no judgment here, okay? I'll hold your hand through it.
Maybe just
that's totally fine. So there were 2 people here. One, I had a younger woman, and then I also had another male energy that was coming forward that was just like right off to your side. And so when I see to the side, this could be a friend, a connection, or a cousin. I'll just get somebody who's in or around the same age as you.
Okay.
When they passed, whenever, and they'd go with you. So yes, I have your grandmother, grandfather here, but they're hanging off to the side for a moment because they're like, go ahead. They're letting all the young ones come forward. You've had a lot of loss.
Yeah.
So it's very, very heavy. I do have this, have this young female that's here that I want to hold on to, but then this male keeps on talking over her. So I think that he's really the one trying to come forward today. Good. So I'm going to try to figure out the relationship and things like that, but just give me one moment. I do have somebody here, okay, because I have another grandfather that also just came in a little late from the other side. Did you not know him?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because he said, she doesn't know me, but I know her, but I'm not going to make it weird. So I feel like he's hanging off to the side. And Williams also coming forward for me, so I'm going to hold on to that name for just a second because it connected in with the grandfather you did not know. So maybe you have to kind of hold that for a moment. But this young male energy keeps on saying, I'm sorry that I left. And I keep getting kind of responsibility in the passing. So when I see this, it means like if it wasn't even on purpose, but kind of like, oh, shoot, it kind of happened. So now, who's Dad still here?
Nope.
Okay, that's where I kept hearing her father. My human mind doesn't want Dad passed for you. And so Dad is coming through like this young kind of energy here. So he knows your son. I need you to know that 100%, okay? Dad said he could have been better. You know, he said, I could have been a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And that shows me that either he wasn't very emotional or he said things that were a little bit hurtful, or it could be responsibility with things that he did, drinking, drugs, that kind of thing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And he's proud of you because you are on the straight and narrow. Like you are doing your own thing, okay? He's very proud of you. And he said, a lot of people have kind of left you, you know, and it always feels like, why am I always doing this on my own? Yeah. And he's making sure that you know you're not doing it on your own, okay? Your dad does love you. He just said I had a weird way of showing it. So I keep seeing 17. How old were you at the time of his passing?
13.
Okay, because he kept saying young, young, young. So I'm going to hold on to 17 as well. I know that's off from 13, but let me hold that there. It might make sense later. You might be driving home and be like, oh, I know where that comes
Probably.
in. It's not definitive right in this moment, but I want to hold on to this. So Dad is your mother. He keeps on mentioning your mother, okay? And he goes, we won't go there. So there's some things here. Now, Mom's also passed as well because she's trying to come forward. It's so interesting because your mother and your father came through like young children, like young adults, okay? And your mother, I just feel like I want to cry, you know, when I connect in with her because she keeps on like really putting her arm around you. And oh my God, she's a hot shit.
She is,
and
yeah.
like real
Or
hot
was.
shit. And she knows she's pretty. She's like, I know I'm pretty, and she can flirt with whoever and get away with it.
No, every boy or friend that I had skipped right over me. The most beautiful woman inside
Stacy's
and out.
mom has
Literally.
got it going on. But Allison's mom's got it going on. So your mother, she's like, we're thick as thieves, you know, and she just said, I'm sorry that I had to go. It just feels like she said, I didn't take care of myself. And she's just kind of like, my chest feels heavy. Everything kind of feels all messed up. She just said, my chest is heavy. I can't breathe. And it does feel like a quick sickness. Does that make sense to you? But she's saying, like, within a year, I keep saying, like, a year span here. Who passed by suicide? I know that's a little heavy.
My mother.
Okay. Because she just said, I just felt like there was, like, a peak where she was doing okay, and then she just went, phew.
Yeah.
And she's sorry. I think that you were trying to get in touch with her. I think that you guys were living together at one point. So did you you found her?
Yes.
Okay, because she's so sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to. But
You weren't supposed to.
No.
Because wow. You're so young on both of these, you know, with mom and dad.
Yeah.
So this is where I feel like I have stuff in my body So that would show me like kind of an overdose energy, or if there was no breathing. I can't breathe very well. So she's so sorry you found her that way. I do believe that you've put so much work in with therapy and everything, and you're an amazing mom. You are like, it's your son before anybody else, okay? And so mom didn't get to meet him because she said, we met in heaven, so just want you to know she picked your boy. And he's a very calming old energy, and that's exactly what
He
you
is.
need.
He's an observer. He's a lone ranger, we call him. He just kind of does his own thing.
Yep.
He's a menace, but he's a very calm, collected.
That's
Aren't we all
awesome.
menaces, right? So she keeps on drawing me a strong C. So hold on to this. So I don't know if her name is a C or a K, or if it's like a Carol, Karen. I keep hearing that over and over.
Not hers.
Okay, hold on to this. Maybe she's doing a reach out, but it felt like she was showing me somebody who else was there on the other side. So I didn't know if she was mentioning her name. So hold that there. Let's put it off to the side. She's kind of like your father. She's just like keeping him at an arm's length. She's like, you stay over there. So
she was a protector big time. So yeah.
So, but there is an olive branch. It's all good. Okay, so just know that they're together. All of a sudden, I just saw comic books.
Huh?
Hold on to this for a second. I never see comic books, so I'm just going to hold this here. Or if it's
Hopefully I'll find
Marvel
one
energy or
rare.
whatever, right? And then sell it. So who knows what the hell that means? But your mom is. She's I can hear her, like she's got a voice that you can't miss, because I feel like I can hear her from a million miles away. You can hear her calling you through the neighborhood. It's like she wants to, like, she'll kick your ass if need be. All right. So
A protector, you said.
Big protector.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense too. So she is here. Now, it's been some time since her passing, and she's saying that I know that you guys had lived together, and that was a kind of a shit show after the fact, because then you had to go find somewhere to live, and it feels like there's all these things. So she said that the aftermath, she watched your timeline, but she watched you literally rise from the ashes. So mom loves you. Whose birthday is coming up?
What's today?
What is today? May 27th.
May.
I thought you were saying it's your birthday.
I have no idea, honestly.
Okay, hold on to it for just a moment here. So we'll hold that there. But Dad is trying to bring himself forward. There's been a lot of tragic, heavy passings. This isn't like everyone gets old and gets to live an old life. It's like you hit 70 and you're out. So if you make it there, right? Yeah. So do you have Mom's Mother Mary necklace?
I don't know a Mother Mary.
I keep seeing an archangel. I keep seeing.
I mean, I got all her jewelry, but I'm not sure if
that's in there. Well, we might find one. So we'll see where that goes. Now, give me a second too, because she's saying. It's funny. She's like, you're not done yet with kids.
Oh, shush. No. No.
So let me know. I kept seeing 2, unless there was a miscarriage prior to your son.
I have 2.
Okay. Oh, you have 2.
And I did have a loss in between.
Okay. So just kidding. You're fine. Don't worry about your eggs. So because she kept saying 2, I'm like, oh, there's another one. So, but she just said, you're fantastic. No. Okay. I see your mother in you. You know, I feel like I'm looking right at her here. And she's saying you kept a lot of her old little, like, she's not a huge makeup kind of gal, but I keep seeing you kind of holding on to some of that old makeup and not letting it go.
Ironically enough, I was trying to find a necklace and I saw her lipstick. I couldn't, it's a Lancome one. Those, like, they don't make them like that anymore. So I was like, I can't throw it away. I'm never going to use it. It's like 17 years expired.
And you smell it, you know. So
bizarre.
She just kept showing me the twist makeup sticks and things like that. So she said you do hold on to it. I see you calling out to her when you need just a little extra help, okay? And so you're married as well. And is this husband?
Yes.
Okay, because she smiles.
Oh.
And she says you keep him in line, so she's good with that. So who's Richard or Rick? Could be or a short nickname or Dick. So hold on to that.
No, I'm not in like the immediate.
Okay. Your mother mentioned it, so keep it in mind. Sometimes when we're in the moment, we're not thinking of the whole list, but I believe that this feels more like a shout out. So just know that her mother and father are beside her, your mom here. So you just know that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. My grandmother's still there. Her father's gone.
Okay. Who's the female that's next to your mother? So I don't know if this is an aunt of hers that would be like mom, but there's somebody like mom that is next to her, because she keeps showing me 2 spirits right next to her.
We have a lot of people.
Okay.
There,
I'll see if I can get some names.
Could be another grandmother. The other side, I'm not.
Okay. So we'll hold that there for a moment. Now, my goodness. So your mother's passed, correct?
No.
Oh, your mother-in-law though.
No.
Oh shit! There's a woman around you. Put her in the back. So, anyways, glad they're both here. So your mom and dad, I really feel like your dad was trying to come forward, and then your mom stole the show because
As
she just
should,
had to,
yeah.
as she should, because you guys have such a deep connection. I know there's some stuff there with your dad in which, you know, we could be here for days, but he's also not trying to like put your business out there. So just know that he is here, but letting mom do the talking as well. So she is truly never meant for you to find her. And she said that wasn't how it was supposed to happen. She would have never done that to you.
Allison, can I just ask?
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
Yes.
Nah, you know,
Or was there someone that you
no,
worried
you know,
about?
it's one of those things that, again, I've sustained so much loss and since a young age, and I've kind of navigated it the best I can. But like you said, you know, putting in the work and becoming a mother myself, that's all I want to do is be a good mom. I had the best mom. So, you know, there's a lot of stigmas around these things. So a lot of people are, like you said, oh, it's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy, but it's life, you know, and I struggle, everybody struggles. So it's like I'm kind of trying to break those cycles and being optimistic, being positive, and just getting better for these kids. They, you know, somebody gonna wrangle them, so it's gonna be me. But in terms of like the questions and stuff like that, especially with my mom's passing, I didn't have really unanswered questions because I got a front row seat, and unfortunately, I knew the depth, not to the extent, you know, but I knew. So unlike family members that shock, like what happened, I kind of knew. So the only thing I really, I knew why, but like I did have a question for her, but I don't know if it's even something that could be answered because of the why she let go, when she let go. Like that was my question. And I have an assumption of why it is. And it's kind of like, I don't need the validation, but that's the only thing that really kind of lingers.
You already know your suspicion.
Yeah.
You know, you already understand that. And it's that intuition that guides you there that you don't need me to tell you.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is something I wanted to tie in as well, is that just because there's mental health issues does not mean that she was not a good mother. She was an amazing mom. And I want people to know that
100%.
because the amount of spirits I've brought through that have passed by suicide are incredible
They
beings.
really are. Unfortunately, the best people.
The best people with so much empathy. So she's so proud of you, and you guys are going to have this amazing relationship for the rest of your life. She sees you taking care of yourself. You're kind of a nurse to everybody as well. And you just kind of help everybody else first, but yourself. So make sure you do that. But get down to the Cape this summer and kind of go get on the beach, okay?
You said there was a young man. Was that, in the end, is that her father?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, just trying to...
Because how old was he when he passed?
48.
Okay. So, and how old are you now?
Do I have to say it on? No, I'll be 37.
37. Because when I feel like they're around the same age as you, his mentality, his energy.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And I just heard Buddy too, so keep that also in mind. Who's Buddy? Do you know who Buddy is, or Butch? So
I got a living Butch.
And is it connected to your dad at all?
Yeah, it's his brother-in-law.
Okay, so sending a little extra love to Butch. That's funny because just 2 days ago I heard Butch out of nowhere. I'm like, why am I hearing Butch? It makes sense. And then it was just a couple of days ago that you were chosen. I didn't know who was coming forward. I had to ask. I'm like, what's the woman's name? So yeah, but maybe sending a little love that way.
Awesome.
If there's stuff going on with them, nothing to worry about. Hello from heaven. But yeah, they're all good. So they love you. Perfect. They're here, and they're glad you made it. So she was trying to help you through the garage to get through.
I can't even navigate the neighborhood I've lived in for my entire life. So I'm like, look for the big tree and you'll find my house. This one, I'm like,
there is no tree. So Allison, what did you think?
It's one of those things that gives you a little bit of peace that, like, even throughout your days, just to the validation of knowing that they're here.
Yep,
Because you don't want that. You can't imagine it just being done. You know.
I agree.
I just want peace, and I want them to be happy where they are.
Right.
They weren't here.
Right.
And that's all I can ask for.
Absolutely.
Little childcare help, like from the thing, tame them down, my little wanderer. That'd be great.
I've always felt like if they're watching over my kids, watching over my people,
that's really, that's all. Yeah. I mean, I've made it. I've had a lot of help along the way, but I can take it. But I, little extra for these little guys.
And you have a daughter?
I do.
You named her after your mother?
I did.
Yes, because she said thanks for that. Yeah. And give you a little wink.
So great.
So it's so beautiful. So she just said that was everything. So she's obsessed with him.
Yeah, well, for good reason. Her little boy is sitting here next to us, and he is adorable. Allison, this has been fun. I hope you've enjoyed it.
I've loved this.
Good.
I don't get out of the house much, so so instead of just going to the grocery store, I come on a podcast.
I love this. So good.
Yeah, black and white.
Right.
No.
Well, we're glad you could be here.
Thank you so
and
much.
Candace, thank you for doing that.
course.
That was just that's incredible. I hope a lot of it resonated for you.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
it
hope
did. And that last one, I'm glad that she knows that.
about
she's from
your
her.
daughter.
That, yeah.
Yeah. See, she saved the headline for
Yeah,
last.
for the last. Yep.
Allison, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim.
This is Kerrigan and Company.
It's a perfect mix of sugar, butter, and flour. Waitress is the hit Broadway musical baked from the heart with new music by Sarah Bareilles on stage at North Shore Music Theater from June 3rd through June 15th. Order up your tickets at nsmt.org.
Beach season is almost here, and that means we're all exposing a little more skin. Are you ready? If not, you need to make an appointment with my friends at Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa in Beverly. Thanks to their new Clarity 2 laser, they're offering the best in hair removal, photo facials to get rid of those age and sunspots, and how about those spider veins that have popped up? Well, Clarity 2 can take those away as well. Add a facial to your visit and get 20% off. Go to siennaaesthetics.com to make an appointment. That's siennaaesthetics.com. This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa. Take years off your face with the very latest technologies at Sienna Aesthetics in Beverly. Welcome back, everyone. It's that time when we wrap things up. I loved that reading, Candace.
Thank you. It was really nice to have her, and it makes sense why she was chosen.
Yeah. You know, we were joking, but you could see she wasn't surprised by a lot of it until you got to the end, and when you said you named your daughter after her, and then you could see she was kind of taken aback there for a second. So that's so good.
Totally. And I felt like her mother didn't want to go into the whole kind of what she already knew and didn't need to go there, you know, and just trying to make it more light more than anything. So, it's so sad to lose parents so young, you know.
Well, it was amazing that you said to her right off the bat, you've had a lot of loss. And she said, yes, I have.
It was a lot. And you never know, because you're like, okay, we got somebody coming in. Like, do they have dead people? Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
Because I've had people come to shows or whatever. I'm like, your line is like nothing. There's like no one there.
Right.
You know, you have one person that passed away when you were like 3 years old. They're like,
Right.
yeah. And I love that they come because I want them to have a cool experience and get to see it. But
Absolutely.
I'm glad she had some dead people.
Yeah, she did. She had quite a few, so that was something. Hey, we do this thing called Fast Five. It's I think you probably remember this.
Yes.
So it's rapid fire questions and answers.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready.
If you could use your gift to communicate with one famous person who's passed on, who would you like to speak to?
Ooh, who would I like to? Oh my God, there's a clicking sound. Who would I like to speak to? Oh my God, this is a lot. I would say this is not fast at all. I like John Candy.
That would be a good one.
He would be fun.
He certainly would. Let's see if we can. Maybe we can channel him if we sit here long enough. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
Ooh, grew up with cats, but I love dogs.
What's your favorite book or author?
I love Kristen Hanna.
If you had your own late night talk show, who would you invite as your very first guest?
My very first guest. Well, of course I'd have you, Kim. But if I had to pick like a celebrity of some sort, I would love to have Alanis Morissette.
There you go. And what was your favorite snack when you were growing up?
Gushers. Gushers. This is
You
why
love those to this day. I feel confident.
I would definitely be eating a whole pack right now.
This has been so much fun.
Thanks for
I've
having
really
me.
enjoyed it. I have one last question for you. Do you, you bring so much to other people, by saying that you've been able to communicate with the people they love. Can anybody do that for you?
Have I had a reading? The people that I know, like my Aunt Maureen, it's hard to read for each other, but I've never gone out of my way to go get a reading, believe it or not. I did have one experience, but it had to do with a mentalist, and it was amazing, and I had just such a great experience with that. But yeah, I should probably go seek out sometime and see how that feels, to be on the other end of it for sure. I've had people reach out to me and tell me they had a dream of my loved one and very profound things and signs, so I'll take those.
good for you.
Yeah.
I just wondered, you would be sort of hard to read yourself.
Yes, very
and
much.
look a little strange
Yes.
as you're talking to whomever standing next to you. Do you have any big events coming up?
I do. I have tons of events in June. So I'll be in New Hampshire around Lake Winnipesaukee area. I'll also be in Bridgewater, Mass at Casa Agave Cantina. So you can come get some Mexican food and drinks.
Right.
And then I'm also going to be in Plymouth, Mass for a fundraiser show. And I will also be in Millis, Mass at Tangerini's Spring Street. I can't talk. Tangerine Spring Street Farm. So I'll be tons of events in June. And I'm also going to be at Omega Institute in August. I'm going to teach a weekend workshop on how you can connect in.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be a lot of fun. And it's
That's
a
so
beautiful place. So come join me and you can check
right.
everything out on my website.
I was just going to say, so go to the website. So it's
CandaceDalton.com.
right?
Yep.
Okay, great. CandaceDalton.com, folks. And Candace does do private readings, but I think she's so busy right now that might be pretty tough to get. But
Yes.
but be sure you go to our website and check it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
This has
having
been
me.
A ton of fun. Your energy is so wonderful. It's just great to always be around you. So I
feel
enjoy
the
it.
same about you.
Well,
So thank
you for saying that. Thank
Appreciate you.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it. We're so glad that you could be with us. What a great edition of Kerrigan and Company. If you are watching it on YouTube, good for you. If you just like to listen to it, you can wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure that you subscribe on YouTube and you follow us on our social media outlets. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Kerrigan and Company. To find out who will keep me company and be my co-host on the next episode, be sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Kerrigan and Company is recorded at the Big Night Studios at the TD Garden in Boston. You can view the podcast on YouTube and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure you tell a friend. The executive producer of Kerrigan and Company is David Thompson. Our engineer is Peter Hurley, and our social media managers are Grace Kerrigan, Colby Thompson, and Riley Thompson. See you next time.